Welcome. Next stop, the Fashion Bunker. Please sit back, relax and enjoy your journey. Welcome. Next stop, the Fashion Bunker. Please sit back, relax and enjoy your journey.
Hello? Peace. Welcome everybody to the Fashion Bunker and Transfer. How's it going, everybody? We are in a cottage, darling. We have a little, where is that? A little fireplace, honey. How's it going, everybody? Oh. What a doozy of a weekend we have here for you today. Hi, Love, Yax, Jay, Antonella, Aisha, KDF, Nico Pancakes, Monarch, Brittany Heavenly, 5 Heliotrope, Madame Pomerose, Louis, Jesus, T-Pal, Debbie loving the new thumbnail, Sheridan FN, Andrea V. Hi, everybody. Oh my God, so many lovely people. Thumb up the live stream, y'all. I know I'm like, we just began and I'm already like, thumb up the live stream, thumb up the live stream. Thumb it up, y'alls. Hey, Tina. Hey, Ann. How's it going? Boy, oh boy. Have I got a live stream for you today. This is going to be one heck of a show. One heck of a show. Now, before we begin, everything I say in this live stream is my opinion only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything is my opinion and everything's alleged. Also, I would like to add that I mean all the best to the brand Chanel. I love Chanel. I love Coco Chanel. I love everything she stood for. Yes, everything. And for whoever in the future might say, hold on a minute, wasn't she a collaborator? Listen, you lemming. All rumors are written by that moronic person in the book Sleeping with the Enemy, published in 2011, the Hal Vaughan book. All rumors and gossip has been debunked. You could check out my video on the 5 books to read on Coco Chanel if you want to find out the truth, linked down below. And it is a video that I posted on my channel if you want to hear the truth about Coco. But also, the Hal Vaughan book was published in 2011, a couple of years before the last government documents were unearthed and officially released to the public, both in France and in Great Britain. Hal, of course, did not want to wait until all the documents were released. I wonder why. Probably because once those documents were released, Hal's book would have had no more legitimacy. But alas, lemmings out there love to quote that book, even though we all know they never read that book. And they like to throw shade at Coco, calling her the N-word, calling her the collaborator of the ends, and so on and so forth. All gossip that's been debunked. So stop listening to weird YouTube channels. I mean, you could say, well, what about you? What you just talked about? I read the books. I got 200 books on the woman in my library. Those other Oompa Loompas who make videos about Coco and the allegations, they haven't read one single book about her. You want to bet that they haven't? But they just kind of copy and paste the 3-4 sentences that were written negative about her, and they just kind of propagate that as if that were the truth. Check out my video on the books to read on Coco. Read those books. Some of those books with scanned official government documents freeing the woman of all the allegations. Having said that, I also want to say that I mean the best to the brand Chanel. I love it myself. I collect Chanel since many, many years. I have big issues with their quality at the moment. I have huge issues with the lack thereof. The lack of the quality of their leather, of their raw materials, the construction, the design patterns. I have huge issues with the quality. I also have huge issues with the direction. This is just my personal taste, with the direction that Chanel is going in at the moment. Having said all that, I wish the brand the best, and I wish for nothing more than the brand to prosper and be amazing and wonderful from here on out. I have spent, oh God, dare I say in the hundreds of thousands? Let's just stick to the tens of thousands of dollars throughout the decades buying Chanel products. For those of you who just discovered my channel now, look back the 2,000 plus videos I've made in the past, all of the numerous, endless Chanel bag unboxings, clothing unboxings, costume jewelry unboxing, fine jewelry unboxing, the bag unboxings, the shoe unboxings, the reviews, the perfume unboxings and reviews. It's been a lot. We have been on a journey. If there ever was a journey, that was Super Dacob's Chanel journey. On this channel. I have started my YouTube channel in 2014. One of the first videos I ever made on my channel was a Chanel unboxing. The back then grand shopping tote extra large. It was still in production back then. So, you know, I've been receiving some weird comments lately of like younger people who just discovered my channel, have no clue how long I've been around and what I stand for, and they think, you know, then they kind of throw shade at me for saying like, you can't even afford Chanel. You don't even do any Chanel bag unboxings. I'm like, girl, there's a reason why I stopped doing Chanel unboxings. It's because their leather is terrible at the moment, just my opinion. So my last Chanel bag unboxing was last June, somewhere around last June of 2022. But I wish the brand the best. I still adore their perfumes. Their Les Exclusives range is fabulous. I still love their makeup. In fact, I'm wearing Chanel makeup. I love their fine jewelry. I have platinum Chanel rings. Yeah, I also have Hermes. I love my Hermes jewelry too. But as you can see, I've stripped down from Chanel a little bit today, right? I'm not wearing a brooch. I'm not wearing a necklace. But then I thought to myself, you know, for this solemn occasion, maybe I should wear something more Chanel-esque. And we're going to get to it. I will put on something special in a little bit. But what I wanted to say is this video, this live stream, is a special one. It's not your typical, oh, a product I bought is faulty video. It's also not your typical, let's speculate who might be the next designer for a brand type of video. This is not going to be that video that talks about just gossip, you know, rumors, what happens behind the scenes at Chanel, because I heard that person say from that person, heard from that person, from that person. No, we're actually going to go to the source and we're going to hear shocking revelations from the source in this live stream. This one's explosive. So, yes, Katie, the bunker has seen a lot of Chanel journeys. Kev says, we were all rooting for you, Chanel. That's a good movie. A decade of Dacob. Oh my God, Debs. Truly, truly. And it kind of is sad when I see people throw shade at me and then they're like, they don't really know anything about me. And I'm like, well, actually, I mean, you got over 2,000 videos in my archives and they're all public on my YouTube channel. You can just go watch them, educate yourself, and then you know who you're dealing with. But alleging stuff about me that is not true just feels the same way to me in many ways. The gravitas of it is maybe not as heavy of a burden as it was for Coco Chanel, but all of the allegations and finger pointing at her have also all been debunked. All you got to do is read a book and read the right book and you will know the truth. But a lot of people don't want to read. They make up their minds before they even hear the truth, before they even listen to the truth. Now, when it comes to Chanel, the brand, and right after Karl Lagerfeld's passing, the announcement of Virginie Viard's arrival at Chanel. Actually, let me cue in Virginie. Let me show you Virginie Viard. For those of you who don't know who Virginie Viard is, hello, Virginie. Virginie Viard has been working under the protégé lines of Karl Lagerfeld at Chanel for as long as he was at Chanel. We're talking almost 30 years. And she was kind of, I don't want to say second in command, but she would be literally producing the shows, producing the collections. He is the sketching, styling mastermind, and she executes, basically. That was her job under Karl Lagerfeld. She would be executing everything that he would conceive, including and not limited to, apparently, like I don't forget, everything in this video is alleged. Also, the fashion shows, the castings for the fashion shows, which models to book. You know, it has also come to our attention that Chanel has its own casting agency. They don't go apparently to a casting agency that casts for other brands as well, but they have their own casting system in which apparently Virginie had, during Karl's tenure, a say and control over. Whether or not she was just bringing into that casting department whatever information Karl would convey to her, or whether or not she would be also executing some sort of personal power, is unbeknownst to me. We can only speculate about that. But what we're about to hear in this video is that she did have indeed power when it comes to selecting, casting-wise, which models are going to hit the runway of the Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel fashion shows, whether they be prêt-à-porter or haute couture. And I'm looking at Virginie. Debbie says almost 200 people. Oh yes, 200 people here. Let's do 150 thumbs up. You guys, this one is a juicy live stream. Thumb up the video because we'll go. We're living for it, you know? Living for it. Also, I would like to use this opportunity to tell you all that I am about to premiere my movie, Art Lovers Unite, with Vivienne Westwood and yours truly in the movie, co-directed and co-produced by Patrick J. Thomas, and again, yours truly. Art Lovers Unite will have its German premiere after it had its world premiere in Melbourne, Australia, and its European premiere in Barcelona, Spain. Now the movie is also coming to Germany, Berlin on the 16th of February, 2023 at the Babylon Cinema at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available at www.artloversunite.com. Then you click on screenings and you can book one of the last tickets available. They're almost all sold out. So I want to thank everybody who has already booked their tickets. I will be there for a Q&A session. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to talk about fashion, and we're going to talk about, I always want to say, the living legend, Vivienne Westwood. Unfortunately, Vivienne has passed away, but she forever will be a living legend in my heart. But Vivienne Westwood is the undisputable queen of this movie. And it's going to be my honor to present it one more time in the city where the movie was actually shot. So there's that. Thank you for allowing me to plug my own movie in. Also, I would like to say, guys, if you can, in the chats, please, if I change topic and there's like a new topic, you can timestamp. Can you please in the chats, just so that I know for later, it might help me out to add timestamps after the live stream is over to a variety of topics that might happen in the live stream. So I'm not saying I'm going to take your timestamps for sure, but it's a huge help if you do. Kind of just write a little in the comments. In the comments, people watching. Sorry. Also in the chats, you can also write in the chat, hey, Dacob, add that hour into the live stream. You started this topic. And then in the comments, people watching after the live stream, you can also type in the comment section after the live stream is over, you can also type in, no, sometimes they type in stupid stuff. Then you get trolls. No, terrible idea. No, trolls start typing crazy. No, bad idea. So then forget about what I said, because I don't want you to type it in the comments. Not a good idea at all. So no, I don't want any time, Debbie. I just want like 3 hours into the live stream. Like live stream, hour 2 and 5 minutes. Topic is Virginie Viard wears a blue jacket, or you're talking about the movie Art Lovers Unite. At 2 hours and 25 minutes, you started talking about eating popcorn. At 1 hour, 15 seconds. Yeah, exactly, Jesus. 2:02, bad idea. No time zone. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, I've started here total chaos. No time. Yeah, guys, no time zone. What's going on with you people? Y'all. Thank you, Katie. Time passed in video. I'm having a breakdown, Kev. I'm still recuperating from yesterday's party. For those watching later, if you see an interesting moment, drop a time code in the comment section down below. If you troll about it, you will be blocked. But if you're honest about the timestamp, then all is good. There, let's put it that way. Dacob is... Niklas, oh my God, you don't do this. Time right now, Dacob is recuperating. Like 2 minutes and 2 seconds into a Tina stream. Cha. 5 heliotrope. Yeah. Everybody drunk. I am in transfer, you guys, so I don't have the cherries to pop, but we're going to be digitally popping. So I just want to say thank you, Snovid Hedstierna, for the super chat. Beishez out. Witches in. Long night ahead. Go Babe D. Thank you. I think you're going to pop up on the side if the if the new system that I'm using is working here in transfer. Let's see if the notification is going to pop on the side.
€5 super chat from Snovit Heads Churner. Be shay out, witches zin.
Yes, Queen!
Ahead. Go babe D.
Thank you so much. Let's pop your virtual cherry. Thank you, Snovit, my love. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. Thank you. So we got the virtual cherries pop in. We got the tip in jar. You know, you can tip super chats if you want to help out the channel. You can also send a direct tip through PayPal to me. In that case, YouTube doesn't take 55%. You heard that right. When you send a super chat, YouTube keeps at least 55%, even more if you send super chats through Apple devices. But if you use the link at the top of the chat to tip Dacob directly, then YouTube does not take any percentage. You can also use this wonderful little scan thing. You see this little barcode right here? If you scan that with your phone, it opens up the tipping jar. Very interactive. Very interactive. Very tickle my pickle through the QR code. So now this is going to be an interesting topic. Thumb up the live stream, y'all. Yeah, Debbie, it's true. Yeah. Is that why all the aprons, she needs something to hold her dead arms? I don't know what we're talking about here. Oh, the bibs. Oh, the bibs? Virginie's bibs? Jesus. Virginie, blink if you need help. Now let's go back into the cottage. Okay, so this is Virginie. Before we go back to the cottage, Virginie, after Karl Lagerfeld passed away, right? So as I said, she was his right arm. She would produce the shows. She would collect the fabrics. You know, she would basically allow Karl's vision. Oh, thank you so much, Katie, for donating $10. Thank you.
Kate_F donated $10. XOXO.
Oh, thank you so much, my love. So Virginie, oh, let me pop a cherry. We flow, we flow. We go, we go. We're living ferret. Actually, let me play a living ferret for you to thank you. Living ferret.
I'm living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret.
Yes. Okay, so that's a little moment in the Fashion Bunker. For those of you just tuned in for the first time, we have our songs in the Fashion Bunker as well. Even when we're in transfer, we always have them with us. They're in our souls and in our hearts. Hey, Zach, how's it going, my love? Wait, is the cottage inside one of those Trojan horse animals from the Chanel show? You best believe you figured it out. Damn. You figured me out before the big reveal. You already figured it out. So Virginie was doing a lot for Karl for many, many years. Now, apparently she comes from theater and film, costume design. So she's from the costume department, which can be great for film and theater. Great. Does that translate really very well into fashion? It can. It can. From time to time, it can. Why not? So after Karl passes away, the board of whatever at Chanel decides that Virginie should take over, and Virginie becomes the artistic director of Chanel from February, March 2019. She took over Chanel, and she, as of now, February 2023, is the artistic director at Chanel, designing 2 haute couture collections a year, plus 4 main collection. Well, she does the pre-spring summer, main spring summer, pre-fall winter, main fall winter, pret-a-porter collections, plus cruise collection, plus the métier d'art collection, plus the beach collection, plus the snow collection. So we're like at 10 collections a year, more or less, 9 to 10, which Virginie does. And it's a lot of work for sure. I'm sure she has a team that works for her. But anyway, now you know where we're at. That's Virginie. Now we're going to get to the next chapter of this live stream. And now we're back in the cottage, in the warm little cottage. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. As we all know, the fashion world is filled with a lot of different personalities. We have Anna Wintour, who is the ruler supreme of Vogue and gives and takes away power to designers and whoever she really wants to. Zac Posen, apparently, allegedly, became famous thanks to her. Galliano, apparently, as well. In one of the interviews that Anna Wintour made, she online available, she claimed that one of her favorite fashion shows ever was a John Galliano fashion show in a dilapidated mansion, late 90s. I can't remember, was it 1997 or 96 or 98? So she also really helped John Galliano. I think she also had a lot to do when it came to rehabilitating his image after the scandal of all of the things he said at the La Perle cafe in Paris during one of those fashion weeks in which he was recorded saying very nasty things. And he was subsequently fired from Dior. So there's Anna Wintour, there's fashion directors, there's fashion producers, there's investors, CEOs, there's salespeople, there's producers, there's marketing teams, PR teams, publicist teams, agencies, management. The fashion world is full of all sorts of people. But it is also really full with one type of person that I haven't mentioned yet, and that would be fashion models. The models make up a huge portion of the fashion world. They can also help your collection become successful if the right model is wearing your collection, if the model has the right reach with their own presence, how famous they are, whether it be on social media or not. So there's a lot of these models that are really important in this story as well. Nicole Pancakes, Major T begins 24 minutes in. Oh, thank you, Janine. Janine Marie says, oh, that eyeshadow is so nice. Thank you. It's a kind of a purpley color. Very subtle today. I didn't want to go too overboard with it, but. Oh, yes, madame. Then we do have the K-pop star models. We do have actors, singers. They also wear fashion. They also contribute to the fame of certain brands, for sure. But when it comes to the actual business of fashion, people that just live off of fashion, that live within the fashion industry, whether it be in the production side, marketing side, sales side, investor side, those are not actors and singers. Actors earn money through acting. Sure, they can also... Julia Roberts does advertisements for a perfume, La Vie est Belle, for many, many years, right? Keira Knightley also an actress. For the shade. For, Keira, I love you. For Coco Mademoiselle, Natalie Portman, who Keira Knightley looks like. Natalie Portman is advertising for Dior perfumes, right? For Miss Dior since many years. So actresses, actors, Brad Pitt advertised for Chanel No. 5. Actresses and actors do advertise sometimes for fashion, mostly for perfumes. And yes, they earn millions if they're very famous actors. The endorsements they get are stratospheric, but mostly actors and actresses, got a chance at even advertising for fashion brands because they became first and foremost famous actors and actresses. They would have never been booked with those stratospheric endorsement budgets had they not been already famous with acting. So they, of course, their job is to act. Singers' job is to sing. But fashion people's job is to fashion. And so models earn their living from running the runway, strutting it on the runway, being in ad campaigns for fashion brands. Kate Moss, wonderful example. So anyway, off topic, but has anyone seen Tar, the movie with Kate Blanchett? Superb. I have not. But I've heard really good stuff about the movie. Yeah. So I'm building all of this up, right, as we go along. There's also going to be an unboxing in this live stream. It's going to be a double unboxing. You know, it's very rare because usually I shoot separate videos for the unboxings. But no, this is going to be a little nugget within the big nugget, within the big chicken. There will be a nugget. There will be several nuggets, but this one is going to be a doozy. A doozy. Now, it has come to my attention that somebody said something really, really revealing about the fashion industry and Virginie Viard. It has come to my attention that somebody said something that I've been thinking for a long time. One of the things I've been thinking for a long time is that fashion is dead. And I've been telling you this in a lot of my videos. I've been telling you this: luxury is dead, fashion is dead. There's just no more creativity. Things are so boring. I mean, can we talk Joan Rivers style? Joan Rivers style for a second here. Can we talk, meaning let's keep it very real. We always do in the Fashion Bunker anyway, but let's keep this real, real. The latest Mugler show. They're yet again trying to revive the Mugler brand. Thierry Mugler is dead. Truth be told, Thierry Mugler was gone even before he passed away. And when he leaves Thierry Mugler, when Mugler is no longer Thierry, there's no more Mugler. And I know they try to hire great models. Eva Herzigova was even back for their latest runway at Thierry Mugler just a couple of days ago. It was so lackluster. You know, they had the technological camera sets, the dollies, you know, sliding, gliding on the door, like following the models. And they tried to make it this futuristic moment coming from the dark. But the clothes were just really boring. There was no genius. It felt like washed out, and a washed out attempt, a blasé, watered down attempt at trying to be Mugler-esque. And in reality, yeah, Jizza says that CAD guy needs to leave. Wow. What do you think about Madonna's daughter get rejected? Okay, so Lourdes came late to the show at Marc Jacobs. Oh, we also got to talk about Marc Jacobs for a second. Okay, so Lourdes getting rejected from entering, I really could not care less. However, I did find it very revealing that all of the people standing outside chanting to let her in, saying to the guards at the door or the PR bimbos at the door, hey, let her in. You don't know who she is. Let her in. Let her in. And she did not have the decency to turn around once to smile to the cameras, to smile and thank the people who were yelling in her support to get her into the show. She ignored them. She never turned around to acknowledge them nor to thank them. That was such a snotty, elitist move on her behalf, and I find it just disgusting. So it tells me everything I need to know about her. There's that. The Marc Jacobs show, the Marc Jacobs show was dedicated to Vivienne Westwood. I would want to say, actually, all he did was copy Vivienne Westwood in that show. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Vivienne passed away on the 29th of December of 2022. So you had a bit more than a month since then until your show hits the runway. 1 month is not enough time to develop an entire collection dedicated to another designer. You know, they start designing sometimes 2 years in advance. So he was already copying Vivienne Westwood ages ago. Copying. Yeah, you heard me right. Copying. And so now this blasé show hits the runway copying Vivienne Westwood, again, watered down, just like the Mugler show, watered down. And Marc Jacobs then kind of like dedicates this to Vivienne Westwood. I'm like, dude, who are you trying to fool here? You're just using the fact that she passed away to justify you copying her. But you were planning this collection when she was alive already. And I wonder, and I couldn't help but wonder, would you have actually credited her if she were still alive today? I'm not so sure about that, Marky. I'm not so sure about that. Also, I would like to say to Paco Rabanne, may Paco rest in peace. Paco Rabanne just passed away a couple of days ago. And but Paco had a full and wonderful life. So may you rest in peace, Paco Rabanne. I was actually about to buy a couple of Paco Rabanne necklaces and one of the metal bags and a vest a week ago. But I passed because I passed. Oh, the joke. I didn't, but he did. Oops. Well, anyway. Oh my God, this was a terrible joke. I'm recovering from a party last night. Forgive me. Forgive me. To hell I shall go.
Oh my God.
I know. I cringe at my own self. But I actually found something else I wanted more, so I bought something else instead. Anyway, you know, the metal bags are adorable, Susie Q. I love them to bits. That girl has no shame. LOL, she wasn't embarrassed as Jesus. No, yeah, she just ratchet. Lourdes. Sarah Candy says, I think the people shouting were paparazzi, but they were cool. Whatever. Anyway. Kev, I totally agree with you. So irrelevant. When was Marc Jacobs ever relevant? Like, he was relevant during the Louis Vuitton era. And then also, I mean, the only thing we know about Marc Jacobs are his bags. The tote bags. The Marc by Marc by Marc by Marc by Marc by Marc by Marc Jacobs. Girl, how many Marcs by Marcs can you do? And I adored this last season's ad campaign with one of the loves of my life, Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder looked like she was back in the 90s modeling for Marc Jacobs. But that's because it's Winona Ryder. So she made the clothes look cool because it was her. If it was some other model in the same clothes, it wouldn't have looked as cool. But that's neither there nor here. Thank you, Kev, for the Paco Rabanne joke timestamp. That's how it's done. So 30, okay, so that's, 8:21 is wrong, Kev. You gotta, the stamp is 38 minutes into the live stream. Yeah, the live stream is going out for 38 minutes and 25 seconds. So I guess the Paco Rabanne joke was at 35 minutes. That's how you got to timestamp it, right? Rachel is like, just looking at Marc Jacobs Spring Now, a show. I see what you mean. Yeah. And if you check out the Marc Jacobs website or on their YouTube channel, on the Marc Jacobs YouTube channel, by the way, the Marc Jacobs YouTube channel, I'm like, how come they have such small amount of subscribers? Unlike all the other brands that have millions. Marc Jacobs has like 48,000, 38,000, or 84,000, but still it's not in the millions. And then in the description box underneath the video, he actually quotes Vivienne Westwood. If you read the description box under the video, it says like a quote by Vivienne Westwood. So the show is like dedicated to Vivienne Westwood. But, oh, you can't see the time? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because you can't rewind it. Guys, forget about it. Then don't timestamp it in the chats. It's impossible because you can't rewind it while the live stream is happening. Okay, just forget about everything I said. If you're watching this video later on in the comment section after the live stream is over and you see an interesting moment, put a timestamp. Otherwise, just forget everything because this is way too complicated. And I don't want to keep repeating it because it takes me out of my mental process. Andrea V, no. What do you mean my time? Will I announce every... Oh, I'm at 40 minutes of the live stream right now. Hey, Julie Scott, how's it going, my love? Yeah, I'm at 40 minutes, Andrea, yep. Okay. Now, where was I? Well, let me drink some water, y'all. Gotta hydrate for this. So, yes, we were talking about the end of fashion, the death of fashion, how fashion is just like obsolete because creative minds are missing. Interesting thought processes are missing. The revolution is missing. You know, there's no shift, there's no change, there's no revolution anymore. So fashion is dead. And whenever a creative person is out there, they are silenced, they are shunned, they are canceled because they either have to be hired by big brands, but the big brands want to play it safe, they don't let them deliver, or they want to start their own brand journey, but nobody wants to wear them because it's really, really hard to get recognized and to build a reputation nowadays if the right people aren't wearing your clothes. And if you don't have the right connections, you can be as talented as you want. You will never be discovered. This is coincidentally a similar fate that falls upon writers, musicians, actors, you name it, filmmakers. You know, it's all about who you know. Sad, but it's true. So sometimes talent does not play a part in this. However, from time to time, a model does rise to the occasion. A model does become super famous. A fashion model does hit the runway for many, many brands, big and small brands, and that's amazing. And very rarely nowadays do those models also have character, because mostly famous models today, the most earning models today, do not have opinions. They do not have a character. They are always very blasé. They're always very washed out and dead on the runway. You don't see them. The top models of the 90s are gone. There's no owning the runway anymore. And the models that are mostly booked by big brands like Chanel, for example, nowadays, well, they have no character whatsoever. They actually look miserable on the runway. They look depressed on the runway. They look like they are castigating themselves on the runway. Very blasé times we live in. And Chanel is very famous for that. Lack of life when it comes to models and how they look on the runway, how they look in the ad campaigns. I mean, Chanel even manages to suck the life out of Kristen Stewart in every photo they take of her. They just make her look so bad. The makeup they do for her is terrible. They manage to suck the life out of Margot Robbie on the runway whenever she wears Chanel. It's just really, really terrible. It just is. It just is. Something has to change. But then, as that philosopher guy, I always forget his name. He's really annoying, but he says some interesting things. Oh, you guys are going to know in the chats. He's super famous. He only eats meat and everybody hates him. They'll say he's too conservative. But then, like, what's his name, you guys? Short hair, super famous. Oh my God. I always forget his name. No. Jordan Peterson. Yes, Madame. Thank you. I can always count on Madame. Madame throws shades and does the most vile jokes here in the chats, but Madame has a sharp, sharp brain. Thank you, Madame. Jordan Peterson. So Jordan Peterson said something really interesting. Yeah, he has a beef diet. Exactly, Jam. So, you know, he says a lot of interesting things. Don't get me wrong. The guy is a thinking machine. A lot of the things he says I don't agree with, but that's nor here nor there. The point is, one of these things that I do agree with, when he talks about the pyramid of the corporate pyramid of capitalism. Basically, he says all of these big major brands, they need creative minds. And the creative minds are what can bring the brand into the future, can make the brand become successful. But the problem is that most of these creative minds are at the bottom of the pyramid. And the bottom of the pyramid doesn't want you to be creative. The bottom of the pyramid is the workers that are paid to just not have an opinion. They're paid to shut up and to do what they're told. So if you are a very creative, talented person, but you don't have the connections, you don't have the right people at the top who either sleep with you or are your parents, you know what I mean? You're not going to make it ever, because the people at the top are usually not creative, because most of the people at the top are investors who are absolutely not creative, co-owners of the brand who are not creative. And for them to see you as a creative person is impossible. close to impossible. You're going to stay at the bottom of the pyramid and nobody's going to want to hear your opinion. Nobody's going to want you to be creative. There's no place for you to be creative at the bottom of the pyramid. At the top of the pyramid, there's not a lot of place. And only one or two people can make it up there where the brand actually needs you to be creative. And this is a big problem of capitalism, that the system, the way the system is built up, the really creative people that the brands do need, they will never make it up there. They will never make it into a position where they are allowed to use that creativity for the benefit of the brand. Because the people who are at the top right now, they're not going to want to let you take over their position. They're going to be afraid that you might be better than they are. So they're never going to give you a chance. They're never going to give you a voice. Nepotism rules supreme. So Jordan Peterson, kudos to you for saying that. So there's that, right? But from time to time, a fashion model, like I said before, they are blasé. They have to have that depressed, like I'm dying of hunger, starvation, and no opinions on the runway. Those models reign supreme. But from time to time, even today, a model can appear. And just like Carrie Fisher in A New Hope would say to Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Well, I would like to pull a Carrie Fisher right now, a Princess Leia Organa from Star Wars, A New Hope. I love Carrie Fisher so much. I'm so devastated that she passed away way too soon. I'm going to pull a Carrie Fisher. I'm going to pull a Princess Leia Organa right now. This is not a drill, you guys. This is not a drill. This is the real deal. It's happening. It's happening now. This is not a drill. Help us, Teddy Quinlivan. You're our only hope. Teddy Quinlivan, help us. You're our only hope. And Teddy came, and Teddy delivered. Teddy Quinlivan is a wonderful model, a very fascinating model, and I urge you all to follow Teddy on Instagram, Teddy_Quinlivan. I'm going to post Teddy's Instagram down below. Teddy's also on a podcast that is also a YouTube channel, and I'm going to post the link to that YouTube channel as well, called Unholy and Curious Podcast. The Unholy and Curious Podcast on YouTube. In fact, Teddy, she just made a wonderful podcast a while ago. And the title of the video is, well, it's from a series called Trans Talk 101. Teddy Quinlivan is a top model. Teddy has been hitting the runways, and we're talking from Versace to Chanel. Teddy has hit the Chanel runway for Pret-a-Porter twice. Teddy identifies and is, and I'm going to quote because I don't want to make any mistakes here, and I want to quote what Teddy herself said in the Unholy and Curious podcast on YouTube, so you can see that video on YouTube. Teddy says she is a binary trans woman, transgender, transitioned from one binary gender that they were born with to the opposite gender. So Teddy says, I was born male, but transitioned to being female and living my life completely as female. And this is from Trans Talk 101, the Unholy and Curious podcast on YouTube. So Teddy also made a wonderful TED Talk. I checked out Teddy's TED Talk as well on the fear of revealing her truth to the world, that she was born a boy and transitioned to a girl, and that it was very, very scary for her when she started modeling. Nobody knew. And then some people started finding out because she confided apparently into some people, and then they wanted to out her. You know how mean people are, how evil people are. And so she said, I wanted to own my own narrative. So she came out during Fashion Week. An article was posted that she contributed to, that article, and it went viral, and she felt liberated because the fashion world embraced her instead of rejecting her. She was terrified that if the fashion world found out her past, that she would lose her contracts, that she would lose the runway shows, the fashion shows, the ad campaigns. So Teddy became, willingly or unwillingly at that point, you know, when you come out like that, you become an advocate. You become the person, the face of this reality, and also a success story. And it is so beautiful to see a transgender woman being successful. So incredible. So incredible. I mean, I'm not even questioning whether or not she's beautiful. Of course she is. I mean, you know, Chanel, Versace, they don't book you if you're not gorgeous, obviously. But so let me show you a couple of pictures of Teddy, so we get to know Teddy together a bit better. So here I'm going to show you pictures, mostly basically from Teddy Quinlivan's Instagram account. So this does fall under fair use because we are reviewing, and again I say I'm a huge supporter and fan of Teddy. So, but I'm posting this just so that we have receipts for Chanel. Okay, so here we have Teddy modeling the Chanel runway. Do you remember this one? This was the data center. Chanel. I have actually one of the caps from that collection. No, I don't have from that collection. I have one of the caps from the airport collection, which was before this collection. I think just like one season or two before this collection. But anyway, we digress. So here Teddy posts on November 26th, 2016. In order to be replaceable, one must always be different. This is one of the famous quotes of Coco Chanel. Teddy, in fact, often on her Instagram account claims that she loves Coco Chanel, and that Coco Chanel is one of her idols. And I could not be happier when I found out that Teddy did not fall victim to the rumors of Coco Chanel being homophobe, of Coco Chanel being a collaborator of, you know, the mean Germans, the N-word. And it was very refreshing to me to see that Teddy also knows the truth about Coco Chanel, and that Teddy is also a fan of Coco Chanel. So I applaud you, Teddy, for that. I also applaud you for coming out, for having the strength to come out, because you are also allowing so many other boys or girls to feel empowered, to also step up to the occasion, be themselves. And this is a key word, to be yourself, and to be yourself not just gender-wise, but to be yourself also fashion-wise. The freedom to express yourself, the freedom to dress the way you feel belongs to your identity, to wear the clothes that make you feel comfortable, to be in your own skin, or to not wear the clothes if you like, hey, you know, like RuPaul says, you're born naked, everything else is drag. To be yourself. And Teddy constantly, I mean, I've been scrolling through the app because I've been preparing for this live stream ever since Teddy posted a certain video we're going to watch together really soon. But I've been researching Teddy, and I've been digging, you know, the TED Talks, the podcasts. Like, I've been doing my research here. And every time I discover a new facet of Teddy, the more in love I become. I mean, she is amazing. So here is Teddy at the Chanel runway, modeling for Chanel during Karl Lagerfeld's life. The post is from the 26th of November, 2016. You can also see a total look. Let me show you the next picture. Also from Teddy's Instagram. This was the data center, and this is Teddy's full look on the Chanel runway. It's a post from the 4th of October, 2016. Chanel, Getting technical today at Chanel in this incredible show. Always such an honor to walk for this iconic brand. Thank you. At Chanel Official, at Karl Lagerfeld, hashtag Chanel, hashtag Paris Fashion Week, hashtag Spring Summer 17. So Teddy is supportive of Chanel. Chanel is hiring her, so Chanel is obviously supportive of Teddy. Beautiful. Just beautiful. The outfit, when that outfit hit the runway back then, and I remember I reviewed this show, I wasn't a huge fan of this collection, but now seeing what Virginie is doing at Chanel, I'm like, oh my God, why did we lose Karl? I wish we could go back in time so I could buy this jacket. But alas, I didn't buy the jacket, and now Karl is gone, and now we're stuck with Virginie. And you might say, but Virginie's amazing. Don't rip her to shreds. Don't rip her to pieces. There's a buildup to all of this, you guys, so bear with me. Let me show you the next picture. So this one is taken directly from the Chanel YouTube channel. This is the Fall-Winter 2016/2017 ready-to-wear Chanel Pret-a-Porter collection. It's a screenshot I took from the Chanel show. Now, the lady dressed in black right here, that's Teddy. With the golden hat and the huge white pearls, right? The faux pearls and the black bag. That's Teddy. So this is the second fashion show, right? Well, the first, the other one is the second. So this is the first fashion show Teddy did for Chanel, and the other one, the data center was the second fashion show. But this is just to prove to you that Teddy did hit the runway at Chanel. Teddy did walk for Chanel. It's a huge deal. Let me show you the next screenshot I took from the Chanel YouTube channel. This is a close-up of Teddy in that same outfit at the Chanel ready-to-wear Fall-Winter 2016-17 runway. With the sunglasses and the camellia attached to the side of this bowler hat. Tonya Billings says she sounds like a very cool human. She's awesome. Jizza says, love the fit. It is beautiful. It really is. So now this was the first time. The first photo I showed you was the last time. So Teddy walked the Chanel runway twice. Okay. And we have the proof. These are the receipts. All public domain. Teddy also did a third act for Chanel. Teddy was also featured as beauty model for Chanel, which is even a higher standard. I know that fashion is the highest, but to be hired for Chanel beauty is a big deal. It just means that your face is beyond flawless for Chanel standards, at least, right? So a couple of years, or a year or two, I think, after the runways, the two runways that Teddy did for Chanel, Teddy did Chanel Beauty. Teddy did Chanel Beauty. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Teddy did Chanel Beauty after revealing the truth, after revealing the identity, after revealing her past. Chanel hired her for beauty ad campaign. Now, Chanel Beauty is disconnected from Chanel Fashion, meaning Virginie Viard does not book you for beauty. Virginie books you for fashion. Don't forget that. Okay, now let me show you the next image. Teddy posted here Chanel Beauty. This is part of the ad campaign that Teddy did for Chanel Beauty. Look at that face, the makeup, the subtlety, the fades. It's just gorgeous, really just gorgeous. And I also have, so because the picture was so big, I couldn't take a screenshot of the date that was posted underneath, but I do have another part of the ad campaign. Also, Teddy was featured on the Chanel website. You know, like when you go to purchase, so for example, I always use this particular powder for my face from Chanel, right? So when you go on the Chanel website to buy, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Chanel, just to be very clear. When you go to the Chanel website and you want to see how to use a certain makeup product and you scroll underneath the makeup product, there's usually a little tutorial video that Chanel shoots with their model. And the model shows you how to apply the makeup, you know, and they always do it so effortlessly. It makes it look so easy when in reality it's not. But so Teddy was also featured on the Chanel website in one of those tutorial videos. But let me show you the next screenshot. Okay, so here is what Teddy wrote on her Instagram profile. And I'm going to read this to you, okay? So Teddy, this is the caption of the Chanel Beauty ad campaign that Teddy was featured in. This is the caption that Teddy wrote for her own Instagram account. She said, lipstick, Chanel Beauty, lipstick. Or better said, lipstick emoji, Chanel Beauty, lipstick emoji. I find I don't cry, okay, and I quote, okay, you guys, I find I don't cry anymore when things are sad. But isn't it interesting when we shed tears in moments of triumph? This was one of those triumphant cry moments for me. My whole life has been a fight. From being bullied at school consistently, kids threatening to kill me, and going into graphic detail how they were going to do it. My own father beating me and calling me the F word. To receiving industry blowback after speaking publicly about being essayed on the job. I can't read all these words, obviously we're on YouTube right now. This was a victory that made all of that SHIT worth it. I had walked 2 shows for Chanel while I was living in stealth. Stealth meaning I hadn't made my trans identity public yet. And when I came out, I knew I'd stop working with some brands. I thought I'd never work with the iconic House of Chanel ever again. But here I am in a Chanel beauty advertising. I am the first openly trans person to work for the House of Chanel, and I am deeply humbled and proud to represent my community. The world will kick you down, spit on you, and tell you you're worthless. It's your job to have the strength to stand up and push on. And, sorry, let me reread that again. It's your job to have the strength to stand up and push on, to keep fighting. Because if you give up, then you will never experience the tears of triumph. Thank you to everyone who made this dream a reality. I'm telling you, Teddy can move you to tears. So Teddy, really, this is so beautiful. And I just really want to share this with you guys. This is so important. This is so important. This is so important. All right, let me move on to the next picture. And now I want to show you, this is Teddy. On one of her Instagram posts, I find this such a beautiful post. Why did I decide to share this post with you? This is from a couple of years ago, I believe. Obviously, it looks like Canal Street, and it looks like she's like kind of like posing in front of, you know, what appear to be replica bags. And the fact that she is working for the fashion industry, but then throws shade at the fashion industry like this, and is posing in front of allegedly fake bags, is just delicious. This is class. This shows you a sense of irony, a sense of self-irony, a sense of humor that goes beyond most what anybody can ever deliver. A top model daring to do this on their social media publicly. Teddy, I mean no offense when I say this, so don't get me wrong, but I'm saying it takes balls. You know what I mean? Whether you're a woman or a man, I'm not going for the gender thing here. I'm just saying whichever human being does this takes balls, okay? So just, you know, because this is amazing. I so much respect for you for posting this picture. So much respect for you. Like, this is, I love it. I just love it. And another picture that I really adore, the cajones. Sí, Lucas. Has comprendido muy bien. Es eso. Es eso. Cojones. Okay. So let me show you the next picture. And of course, my love for Teddy was sealed once I saw Teddy wear from time to time Vivienne Westwood. And here's Teddy in one of Vivienne Westwood's gorgeous bathing suits. This bathing suit is from the unisex range from a couple of years ago. And, and then even there, she's making fun and says, a seagull took a dump on me. And if you scroll through the pictures, she does show on her back, there's a poop. There's a seagull poop on her back at a certain point. But she is wearing Vivienne Westwood often in her Instagram posts. Love it. I love the fact that she endorses Vivienne Westwood and that she also supports Vivienne Westwood. So beautiful. Let me show you the next picture. This is the latest picture she posted a couple of days ago. Teddy with Anna Delvey. Now, I know a lot of you are not fans of Anna Delvey. You know, I am. So when Teddy posted the picture, two actually pictures with Anna Delvey, done. Teddy, I'm yours. Girl, whatever you want me to do. And actually, Teddy, I would love you to come on the channel and just talk to me. It would be really cool. I'm not a crazy fan. Don't worry. Let's make this a mommy dearest moment. I really respect, I'm not a fan, just to be very clear. I'm a fan of no one. I'm usually a fan of dead people. So no shade. But I respect you a lot, But let's make this a mommy dearest moment when Faye Dunaway slaps her daughter and she says, why don't you love me? And then she says, because I'm not one of your... Scream that loud. I have a microphone here, but Mommy Dearest, great movie. Anyway.
You look Paul.
What are you wearing? You look Paul. Actually, the caption reads, if you scroll further down, well, you can't scroll here, but actually, Teddy, wait, let me go to her Insta right now, and I'm going to read to you what she exactly said. What will go, will go. Okay, her caption says, why are you dressed like that? You look Paul. That's literally the caption under this photo. So, of course, I mean, beautiful. You look Paul. So there's that. So now that I've kind of introduced Teddy to you a little bit, you should also check out the TED Talk that Teddy did. The TED Talk that Teddy did on YouTube. The video is public. You can watch the TED Talk. It's 12 minutes long. It's not a long one. Really, really to the point. Beautiful TED Talk. Now that we have the proof that Teddy was on 2 Chanel runways and did the beauty ad campaign right after revealing her truth, her identity, after we've seen all that, after we've seen what Teddy's all about, and after I've done the introduction to tell you, how fashion is dead, in my opinion, and how we're moving in the wrong direction, well, just a couple of days ago, one of my subscribers, and I'm going to give a shout out to Julien Antoniotti, or Julian Antoniotti. Thank you so much for sending me. Julian, you're such a sweetheart. I just want to say thank you so much to Julian for sending me the videos that Teddy posted in her Insta stories. So the 3 videos we are about to see have been posted just a couple of days ago, and Julian was so kind to screen grab them and send them over to me. So they have been screen grabbed by Julian, and I will post Julian's Instagram down below as well. So go give him a follow. He's wonderful. And he's also one of the victims of Instagram. Just like my channel got deleted, his profile got deleted, and he started a new one. Anyway, he has a new channel, a new profile now. But he sends me these screen grabs of 3 Insta stories that are now gone because, Insta stories remain only 24 hours and then they disappear. But he's grabbed them, sneaky. Thank you so much, Julian. And then sent them over to me. What you're about to see is, I think, one of the most revealing things we've seen in a long time about the fashion industry. And what you're about to see is very eye-opening. And I hope that all those haters that keep coming for me, like, how dare you throw shade at the brands? You're a brand hater, blah, blah, blah. Like, stop being so brainwashed, you people. Wake up and smell the coffee. It's time to freaking wake up. What you're about to see is, to say eye-opening is an understatement. Okay? It's an understatement. It's an understatement. Here's Teddy Quinlivan on her Instagram account revealing truths about Chanel and Virginie Viard and about the fact that fashion is dead. Let me show you the first clip. It's 3 videos, 1 minute each.
Chanel story time, y'all. Okay, I'm actually so triggered thinking about this. Okay. So I've walked Chanel 2 times, but when Karl Lagerfeld was the creative director, this Virginie lady, like this woman who's like actually literally like destroying the legacy of Chanel before our eyes with these horrendous collections. I mean, her consistency of bad collections is just like astonishing to me. I don't know like what kind of Jeffrey Epstein level blackmail she got to be had on somebody to be appointed to that position and to stay there. I mean, whatever. Regardless of that, this Virginie lady used to be sort of like the right hand of Karl Lagerfeld. So while Karl Lagerfeld in the fittings was like talking to celebrities, she was kind of like running the show from behind the scenes. So she had been there for years.
This is the introduction. Let me read some of your comments. This Virginie lady, the shade, says Alex. Love Yak says, oh my. Oh, the tea is lit, says Woo Woo. Carrie Fernandez says, oh, she's going in from the jump. MBK says, OMG. Alex says, oh my God. Elizu says, oh, burn. Debbie says, oh, cha. MBK says, amazing. Rachel says, I love Teddy. Just her aura is so true and authentic. Hayat says, but the fashion industry is not as exciting as it used to be. It's always the same nepotism faces, no originality. Models who would be amazing probably don't even get the chance to get through the door. That's what I said literally 10 minutes ago. But thank you for repeating it. Love says, there are more. Of course there's more. MBK says, the tea, I lost you from an ad. I missed it, says Shayla. Kev says, I guess they aren't friends. Tina says, I hope they don't blackball her. Oh, honey, we're going to get to that. Alex says, the sword has not sheathed. Johnny says, yeah. Soraya says, oh, wow. More tea, says Rachel. So, all right, let me replay this video because somebody missed it because of the ad. It's okay. Don't worry, you guys. We can replay. I want everybody to hear. And then once the live stream is over, you can replay the live stream again as well and kind of reanalyze. Because once we're done with the whole live stream, you can rewind. And then what I'm saying at the beginning of the live stream is going to make more sense to you once you know the end. So it's kind of interesting to rewatch it later as well. Also because you get a chance to read the comments, to read the live chats and watch a little. It's an interesting duality, you know. It's a symbiotic relationship, the chats and the live streamers. Let's thumb up the live stream. You want to get to see the other videos? Come on, thumb it up. This is Jose, right? Thank you, Debs. Yeah, 300 here. Let's see the thumbs rolling, honey. But both Dacob and Teddy are articulate, intelligent people, says Rachel. You can tell right away. Thank you, Rachel, so much. Very kind. No, Teddy's amazing. I mean, seriously, such a sense of humor also. Maison Mangold, how's it going? How's it going, my love? Hey, I'm glad that we're finally just talking about it. These brands aren't even creating collections that blend the codes with a fresh view on fashion. Yeah, tell me about it. Tipa says, I have been listening intently, and if this is going in the direction I think it is, then this is going to make me so angry. Oh, T-Pal. Because you see, a lot of the people that have watched what we are about. So the people that follow Teddy on Instagram are many. Teddy has, let me tell you how many followers. Teddy has 134,000 followers on Instagram as of beginning of February 2023. Okay, I hope Teddy gets millions more. But for now, as of today, it's 134 plus thousand. So not all of the people that watch Teddy on Instagram know that Teddy is an openly trans woman. You know, it's none of their business really. But all I'm trying to say is what Teddy is about to tell us next. Teddy doesn't even go into the whole transgender topic when it comes to this situation with Chanel and with Virginie Viard. No. So, but I thought if I'm going to make a video about this, I need to put a very clear perspective. We need the whole picture, right? As well, we need as many pieces of the puzzle as we can collect. I obviously don't have a direct connection to Virginie Viard. I can't just call her and say, hey girl, can you give me your side of the story? Because, like, you know what I mean? She'll be like, I don't speak English. Sorry, I don't understand you. You know, Virginie would be like, anyway. So, but let me replay the first video. Let's hear the first video. For those of you who missed the first video, let's replay the first video.
Chanel story time, y'all. Okay, I'm actually so triggered thinking about this. Okay, so I've walked Chanel 2 times, but when Karl Lagerfeld was the creative director, this Virginie lady, like this woman who's like actually literally like destroying the legacy of Chanel before our eyes with these horrendous collections. I mean, her consistency of bad collections is just like astonishing to me. I don't know, like, what kind of Jeffrey Epstein level blackmail she got to be had on somebody to be appointed to that position, and to stay there. I mean, whatever. Regardless of that, this Virginie lady used to be sort of like the right hand of Karl Lagerfeld. So while Karl Lagerfeld in the fittings was like talking to celebrities, she was kind of like running the show from behind the scenes. So she had been there for years.
Okay. Jesus says, what model is this honest? And I'm telling you, Teddy, for me, is at the level of Courtney Love. Courtney Love has also always been this brutally honest. This is character. This is a creative mind that has character. This is a mind that is wasted at the bottom of the pyramid. This is a mind that should be at the top of the pyramid, because a creative mind like this can contribute a lot to the growth of a brand, any brand. So we are at the levels of Courtney Love here. And I love Courtney Love, just to be very clear. So Maison Marigold says, so much for Chanel creating inflation to their prices to possibly sell the brand. Virginie is going to take us back to how people viewed Chanel prior to 1983. I agree with you. That is interesting. But I also want to say, I just want to say something quickly about, well, maybe I should say it later because I see we have a checked name in the chats. Obviously, it does pop. Congrats to you, Fashion Roadman, for having 100,000+ subscribers. And you have a really cute profile picture too, might I add. So just you guys to put perspective here, Fashion Roadman says on his YouTube channel, hi, I'm a fashion journalist published in Vogue, GQ, Business of Fashion, and more. I talk about fashion history. I analyze runway shows and create, and then there's ... I would have to click to read more. So Fashion Roadman, thank you so much for being with us in the chats. Fashion Roadman comments in the chats, to be honest, the collections haven't been great. I'm just shocked a model was so candid. Yes, Fashion Roadman, my dear, somebody just threw shade at me a couple of days ago for criticizing the latest Chanel Métier d'Art collection, and also for criticizing the Dakar collection, and also for criticizing the Chanel Haute Couture Spring Summer 23 collection with the paper mache animals. Anyway, somebody said, how dare you? You should learn from the real reporters like Loic. And then he started praising Loic. And I'm like, girl, don't even get me started on him. That guy can only lick a boot. of all of these brands and does not dare criticize anybody. Talk about journalism. Because he knows the second he says something nasty about somebody, he's gone. He's not gonna be invited again behind the scenes to film the little petite Chanel collection. No. Listen, honey, I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I do not need to sit here and lick a boot. I've lost everything in my life several times already. I do not fear loss. I do not fear pain. I do not feel repercussions. Life alone is a repercussion. Truth will set you free. Bottom line, don't let them intimidate you. Don't let them scare you into lying for them because they promise you in return a paycheck, because they promise you in return another feature in another magazine. Don't sell yourself to the devil that easily. Zon. Okay. Fashion Roadman says, I think people can't differentiate between reporting versus being critical and having an informed opinion. There's a lot of that. But also, just to be very clear, I'm not reporting. I don't consider myself a reporter. I don't want to be a reporter. Just to be very clear, I'm an artist who has an opinion. And I share my opinion. I share with you my passion for certain things in life, things that interest me. And I show to you my thought process. What I do on my channel live is literally analyze things that interest me together with you. I learn together with you. I try to get to the bottom of things together with you as a person who's passionate about these things. I don't have the intention of standing as a newscaster in front of a fashion show being like, hey, here's Dacob reporting in front of Dior Haute Couture Spring Summer 2023. Couldn't care less. So there's that. But, oh yes, Fashion Roadmap. So many people in fashion don't like saying anything negative because they want to work with all the brands. Exactly. And Loic is the perfect example. Is the perfect example of the biggest fakery in fashion. And yes, those people get through. Of course they get through because they have access to these brands and backstage and to film wherever they want. And more power to them, but I don't buy it for a second. I'm sorry, I don't. It's actually really irritating to me. No matter what these brands cannot fault nothing. They cannot make one single mistake because nobody's going to highlight the mistake. And even if there is a mistake, Loic is going to say, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is so majestic. Girl. The only thing well, anyway. Now, let me scroll up again just a second because I want to touch base on Ezra's comment, which was really interesting. Sorry, Ezra. I know I put you on the back burner just for a second here. Your comment was right above... There it is, Maison Mangold. So much for Chanel creating inflation to their prices to possibly sell the brand. Virginie is going to take us back to how people viewed Chanel prior to 1983. Prices. Point about prices. I mentioned this briefly in the pre-show. By the way, you guys, if you become a tier 2 member of my channel, pushing the join button, or a tier 2 patron, you get access to special exclusive 1 to 2 hour pre-show live streams that I do every week before the main show, where we go really, if you think these conversations are deep, you should try out the pre-shows where we go, because in the pre-shows we can say whatever we want. There's no censorship. So I was going really deep in the pre-show about pricing and luxury brands. And just to keep it very tight and short here, because you can go, go watch that. I speak things out much more freely there. So, we just filmed that video prior to the main show, so that video will be up in a couple of days for my tier 2 members and tier 2 patrons. But very briefly, I said that these luxury brands are losing their exclusivity. They're also losing desirability. First of all, dupes are becoming super good, actually really good, to the point where we do speculate whether or not some of these brands are actually also making their own replicas to sell them. And so everybody and their grandmother can have any brand, any logo on them, whether they be dupes or authentics. But so they're losing the exclusivity. But they're also losing quality. You know, Chanel doing 10 shows a year, 10 collections a year. There's no way on heaven on earth, heaven or hell, that you could do the quality you used to have back in the 90s still today, whilst producing 10 times as much. Forget about it. Forget about it. And in fact, the quality has been suffering. People have been reporting quality issues. I myself stopped buying Chanel leather since last summer, since the last bag I bought, the Chanel 22 bag, started peeling after 20 minutes of wearing it. Peeling. Go watch that video as well. I show you all the details about it. Thank God Chanel gave me my money back that time. I still have a dispute open with them with another faulty bag, but about that another time. But all these brands have left, and this is why I think they're increasing their prices so much, not just because they're greedy and they want to make more profits and yada yada, and you know, all the speculations that Chanel is going to get sold, hence why they're upping their prices to bring the market value of the brand to a point where they can sell it for a huge profit, while the Wertheimers allegedly, right, have their bank accounts in the Cayman Islands and cashed out in 2021/2022 dividends of about $5 billion. That's after everybody else has been paid at Chanel. After everybody has been paid, they were left with $5 billion. So there is no need to up the prices. The brand doesn't need all that money. They could have used those $5 billion. They could have used at least one of those $1 billion to pay their employees more, for example. Because why do two brothers need $5 billion? More power to them. But anyway, the only thing that I believe these brands still have today to their name is the high prices. This is so sad. And it just shows you how dead luxury is. All they can do is say, well, okay, we don't have the quality anymore. We don't have the exclusivity anymore because anybody can buy it in dupe form. So we're going to make it cost really expensive. That's all that's exclusive about us, is the price tag. And when you truly let that sink in, you really become aware of how dead fashion and luxury really truly are. When all that these brands have left to make them special is a price tag, nothing else. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. And that's, my dears, why fashion is dead in my opinion. Luxury fashion. Oh, Luke, yeah, I know. Most people think high price equal high quality. Top of the live stream. Yes, Nicole Pancakes. Thank you, my love, for helping. Y'all. All right. Now, let's rewatch again the first video, and then I'm going to jump into the second one right away so you get more context. Okay, we are rewatching Teddy Quinlivan's first video from her Insta stories that she posted a couple of days ago. The very dear subscriber of mine screen grabbed it and sent it over to me. Let me show you the first video about the end of fashion and creativity and Chanel and Virginie Viard.
Chanel story time, y'all. Okay, I'm actually so triggered thinking about this. Okay, so I've walked Chanel 2 times, but when Karl Lagerfeld was the creative director, this Virginie lady, like this woman who's like actually literally like destroying the legacy of Chanel before our eyes with these horrendous collections. I mean, her consistency of bad collections is just like astonishing to me. I don't know like what kind of Jeffrey Epstein level blackmail she got to be had on somebody to be appointed to that position and to stay there. I mean, whatever. Regardless of that, this Virginie lady used to be sort of like the right hand of Karl Lagerfeld. So while Karl Lagerfeld in the fittings was like talking to celebrities, she was kind of like running the show from behind the scenes. So she had been there for years.
Okay, now we're going to see the second 1-minute snippet that Teddy posted in her Insta stories a couple of days ago.
So after I'd walked the show 2 times with Karl, I was invited back for a 3rd season to do the show, but you have to do the casting before you do the show. And the casting director for Chanel only does Chanel, by the way. And the casting director reached out to my agents and said, we would love to see Teddy again this season, but she can't show up wearing one of her crazy outfits. And if she plans on showing up and wearing one of her crazy outfits, then we don't want to see her. And I mean, this is really some shit that she said to my agency. And because apparently my sense of fashion offended the sensibilities of this Virginie bitch. Okay. And I literally said, I remember this specifically. I said, I'm not going to that fucking casting then. And I never walked Chanel ever again. But then I ended up doing the beauty campaign. So sorry, girl.
First of all, Yelena, thank you so much for becoming a tier 1 member. Thank you. This is hot tea. Teddy is delivering. And Kev, like, girl, bird genie lady. What kind of crazy outfits, Ben Black says. Piping hot says ACNB, right? Chef's kiss. There's still one more to come. The well, Teddy was probably not wearing a bib because Virginie loves bibs. If you know, you know. If you got the joke, you get the joke. If not, doesn't matter. But I believe that Teddy. Now, listen. This is before Teddy came out, you know, officially saying I'm a transgender woman, right? This was before that. So, or maybe it was while that was happening. And so it would appear from what she says is that Virginie is like, you're showing too much character. You're coming to the casting dressed up. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Maybe you're revealing too much skin, or maybe you're wearing Moschino. Maybe you're wearing something that Virginie considered tacky to her sensibility. Or maybe it was just something that showed character. And Virginie did not want a model at the casting that showed any character. Maybe because Virginie doesn't want to have another woman next to her that has more character than her. Oh, she went there. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. And exactly, Jesus. There you go. We're getting to the point. And Jesus says, or is it low-key transphobia? Conservatives usually call queer people flamboyant. My dears, what Jesus wrote here, he always brings it to the point, is the story of my life in the fashion world. I'll tell you one story. I was working in one of the showrooms for a major brand that had a lot of different collaborations under their belt. I was specifically hired to represent one of those collaborations. The first day in the showroom, I'm wearing from head to toe that brand, that collaboration that I'm representing. Coincidentally, a beautifully colorful one. One of the CEOs of the brand comes to the showroom, they're having a meeting, takes my boss to the side to tell my boss that I should tone it down. My boss tells me that, the manager. And I'm like, I'm literally wearing your brand. Let that sink in. But I'm visibly gay, and I don't hide it. Why should I? Of course, one of these CEOs is or was, I don't know if they're still alive, I don't care, a straight man. So, and this is just one of the many discrimination examples I can share with you that I had to go through in my career. When it comes to production, in fact, I've worked on all levels, from marketing to PR to sales to production. I've done it all. And I can tell you, when it comes to production, for example, or when it comes to sale and buying for a shop, again, worked for a major brand. One of the people who decides, who's just giving you the different tasks, what to do, who has zero creativity, zero personality, but sits up there because they weaseled their way in somehow to the top because they zip it, they're invisible, and they take control because they backstab you. The audacity to say, Dacob, I don't think we should make him do the buying for these certain brands because his style doesn't suit the products. So basically, this person who had zero sense of style, zero sense of anything really, could not in their peanut brain understand the difference between, well, I have my style, but I'm sorry, I'm not as limited as you are. Hate to break it to you, boo-boo. Not everybody's that limited. I'm very well capable of dressing the fuck I want to dress, but being at the same time capable of looking at somebody else and being able to style them according to their needs, according to their character. Just because you're not capable of thinking outside of the box doesn't mean others cannot. So, I was not asked to buy for the shop that season because my style was different from the brand I was supposed to buy. Fast forward a couple of years later, that brand that I wasn't supposed to buy got a tight bond with me because I was so good with that brand that idiot thought I was not capable of envisioning properly. Just a second example. I can give you another 1,000, but anyway. Louis says, people have told me at the workplace to leave my flamboyant side in the closet before I go to work. That is homophobia 101, baby. Homophobia 101. Honey Love. Just my opinion, this person is a brat and should have followed the brand's request. Just my opinion. I don't think you get the point here. All right, let's replay the first two videos, and we're going to add the third one to it. So we have all three videos back to back, so you get the full picture. There are only 3 videos. So we're about to see now the last video, where we're going to see the first two, and in conjunction, we're going to see the third, and we're going to see all 3 together. Okay, here goes, you guys. Get ready, set, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Here goes.
Chanel story time, y'all. Okay, I'm actually so triggered thinking about this. Okay, so I've walked Chanel 2 times, but when Karl Lagerfeld was the creative director, this Virginie lady, like this woman who's like actually literally like destroying the legacy of Chanel before our eyes with these horrendous collections. I mean, her consistency of bad collections is just like astonishing to me. I don't know, like, what kind of Jeffrey Epstein level blackmail she got to be had on somebody to be appointed to that position, and to stay there. I mean, whatever. Regardless of that, this Virginie lady used to be sort of like the right hand of Karl Lagerfeld. So while Karl Lagerfeld in the fittings was like talking to celebrities, she was kind of like running the show from behind the scenes. So she had been there for years.
Okay, now the next one, second video.
So after I'd walked the show 2 times with Karl, I was invited back for a 3rd season to do the show, but you have to do the casting before you do the show. And the casting director for Chanel only does Chanel, by the way. And the casting director reached out to my agents and said, we would love to see Teddy again this season, but she can't show up wearing one of her crazy outfits. And if she plans on showing up and wearing one of her crazy outfits, then we don't want to see her. And I mean, this is really some shit that she said to my agency. And because apparently my sense of fashion offended the sensibilities of this Virginie bitch. Okay. And I literally said, I remember this specifically. I said, I'm not going to that fucking casting then. And I never walked Chanel ever again. But then I ended up doing the beauty campaign. So sorry, girl.
And now the third revealing video.
So if you're watching fashion shows nowadays and you're wondering, like, what happened to supermodels? What happened to, like, amazing girls on the runway with a point of view, who really had unique personalities, who could really sell a garment? What happened to beautiful collections? What happened to what happened to the magic of fashion? Bitches like this Virginie lady is what happened to fashion. Somehow she managed, people like that, this happens all the time. They, like, somehow manage to weasel their way into these high level positions, and they just suck and drain every last drop of creativity out of this business. It is people like her that are literally destroying fashion. And Margot Robbie's red carpet looks. There, I said it.
She ends by saying, there, I said it. Okay, the Margot. And this is an opinion from a person who breathes, lives, works fashion. This is not somebody just with an opinion. This is somebody from the industry, from the inside. You know? Deeply Airing says, Virginie is a company man. She's there to make herself and the Vatam brothers money. Kev says, Teddy gives no Fs. Anyone who's watched America's Next Top Model, Tyra always told the girls to show up to casting barefaced and in plain clothes. Rachel says, it's a desire to contain or limit or deny someone's truth. I'm so mad. Ella says, fashion has become monotone. HB says, wow, what a brave girl. Yes, very brave. And just for you who are saying, but the brand demands this, so you got to wear that. No. What you have to understand is, I have a feeling some of you don't know what a casting is. Maybe some of you understood that Teddy wanted to wear whatever she wanted to wear on the fashion show. That's not the case. Just to be very clear, on her own dime and her own money, does she have to drive off and travel to the casting place? From her home to the place. She is her own person. She can come dressed how damn well she pleases to the casting. You get to the casting, then they can tell you, hey, here we got, listen, the show is going to be more boring. It's going to be without colors. So here we have a couple of robes for you to choose from. We're going to put you in a gray robe, a boring gray robe that Virginie designed. And you're going to do the casting dressed in the gray robe. She would have done it. She would have walked for Virginie in the boring gray robe for the casting. But the problem that apparently Virginie had was she didn't want Teddy to even arrive from her home into the casting scenario, dressed in her own clothes that she chooses to wear. So Virginie's team said, you know, if Teddy arrives into our offices dressed like she did last time, she doesn't even need to come. I'm like, bitch, it's your job as a fashion creator, whatever the hell you call yourself, to dress her. She's your model. She arrives in her clothes from home. You take the clothes off of her and you put onto her the clothes you want her to wear. And then when you've done that, you let her walk up and down the freaking runway and you decide if she's a good fit for your fashion show. That's what Teddy would have done. But instead, no. Virginie's like, allegedly, no, you can't even arrive from your home dressed the way you want to be dressed. Because it insults my artistic persona. Girl. Kev says, honestly, Bird Genie is so replaceable. They can hire her assistant or Maria Curie and get the same results. Unfortunately, I agree at this point. Christopher says, the creative director is not the one at the top of the pyramid. I think the problem is that there are conglomerates in the fashion industry. Had a lot of power at Chanel. Don't think that they would come to him and tell him, you got to do this, you got to do that. Karl did what he wanted to do. Now, Karl was not the person to not appreciate creativity. I don't think something like this would have ever come from Karl. Personally, this is just my opinion, but I don't see him. But he's a busy man. He was creative. I don't think he cared. I don't think he had the time to say, Virginie, when you're choosing which models for the fashion show, like, just tell Teddy not to wear something colorful. Like, forget about it. That's not him. He doesn't care. So something like this at this level had to come from somebody else who used their 5 minutes of power in the industry. Just to mess with in this case, a transgender model. And I do believe, like what Jesus says, there's some transphobia going on here. Oh, yes, Dana Tom. Yes, Fashion Roadman. Yes, How Luxury Lost Its Luster. I have the book. And predicted all these issues happening so many years ago, the creativity of fashion being washed away in the pursuit of unsustainable growth. There you have it. And so I think Karl got away with what he did because it's because the clothes. He just, they really trusted him. He brought Chanel back from the dead, basically, the brand. The brand was doing really bad. And since he really delivered, they had in interviews, Karl would always say, we have a minimal contract, the Wertheimers and I, just a one-page contract. Now, a lot of these are just stories we don't know. Obviously, I'm sure there was more than just a one-page contract between Karl and the Wertheimers, and they gave him carte blanche. He could do whatever he wanted, allegedly, right? And because he revived the brand, I'm sure that they really believed in him, and they said, you know what, keep doing what you're doing. Okay? Now, and just to be very clear to all of you who are trying to still, and I don't know for the love of me why you people try to still be on the side of the corporations. Why? Why are you doing this to yourselves? Why? Oh, Julie, thank you so much.
Julie Scott donated $6. If it were me, I would have shown up with curlers in my hair, cold cream on my face, in a ratty robe. And then said, is this plain enough?
And I would have screamed, no more wire hangers. Love it. Thank you so much. Whew, I was getting oily. Well, thank you so much, Julie Scott, for the incredible tip and caption. Let me get back to the people who are still standing behind the brands. I really, for the love of me, I don't know why you're doing this to yourselves. You are the type of person who would also say always yes to your boss blindly. Stop playing the Oompa Loompa. Stop being a lemming. Wake up. What did Teddy say? You're all saying, haha, she deserved it because she didn't do what the brand wanted her to do. She literally said, if I'm not allowed to wear what I want as I'm arriving into their offices, then I don't want to go. So let them know I'm not interested in doing their show. And that's what they did. They literally said, sorry, Teddy's not coming for the casting. Teddy doesn't care. But you're still not listening, because whatever Virginie did to throw homophobe slur at Teddy, to deny her existence, to deny her personality, no matter how hard Virginie did that and her team did that to Teddy, still the other side of Chanel, the makeup team, the makeup Chanel Beauty, after the scandal with Virginie, after all that was done with Virginie, then Chanel Beauty contacted Teddy and said, hey, we want to book you as the face of Chanel Beauty. So, for all of you saying that she didn't do what the brand wanted her to do, so she doesn't deserve, she still got the job at Chanel Beauty. So what are you trying to prove here? Huh? The couple of y'alls in the chats that are trying to like prove another point. You know, Jason says, Teddy got singled out. Chanel has to do something. I'm going to follow her and support Teddy. Yeah, go follow her. Yes. Louis says, oh my God, people don't get it. No, people don't get it. I'm shocked that people don't get it. I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. And it's not easy to shock me. So maybe Virginie was threatened by her style and creativity. Donna Donahue, yeah, Virginie, I feel that definitely Virginie just, and we can see it. We can see what sort of people she books, what sort of people surround her, who she hires to work with her. One more washed out than the next. Oh, Susie Collector, thank you so much.
Susie Collector donated $10. It worked.
It worked. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you. Now, yes, Kim, sounds like Chanel Beauty has some sense, or at least had some sense back in the day. Now, you know, they've also changed their creative heads, and we don't know which direction they're heading towards next. Let's hope they're heading towards a bright future. Because like I said before, I wish the brand Chanel all the best, and I want them to do great stuff. I want them to be creative. They can afford to be creative. They're earning billions. If they have $5 billion dividends at the end of the year, that means to give to their owners, that means that they can do so much. They can invest so much in creativity. They can do amazing things, not just dog-bibbed, sequenced bibs coming out of the butts of plywood animals on a rotting stage. Haute Couture Spring Summer 2023. Oh, comme avoir, thank you.
Comme avoir donated $20. I've been a causal lurker for many years, and wanted to support you because indirectly you've inspired me.
Thank you so much. So kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Fashion Romance says, the point is that Virginie's being catty over a model's personal style. It was no... it has no bearing on the outcome of how her Chanel collections will look on the model. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody's making sense. Corporate is corporate, even in fashion, says A1H. No, it's that one idiot that has their 5 minutes of power, and they use that power to mess with somebody, to mess with your livelihood. Stop thinking that just because some people have a higher position within the corporate pyramid that they are entitled to anything. They're not. You're brainwashed into thinking that just because they're in a higher position, they are allowed to mess with you. You've been indoctrinated to believe that. You believe that your boss can mess with you. You believe that the boss has reasonable justifications for mistreating you. You think that the boss has the right to tell you how you're supposed to dress when you're at home? I've had people that I worked for in the past for fashion brand tell me what I'm not allowed to or what I'm allowed to post on my private social media accounts. And I was like, excuse you? Sorry, I work for you 8 or 9 hours a day. What I do when those 9 hours are over is none of your fucking business. And what I do with my private life is none of your business. You do not poke your corporate ass fingers into my private life. Keep them out of it. So when you start telling me how I'm supposed to behave, what I'm supposed to wear, how I'm supposed to arrive to a freaking casting from my own private home, all the way through the city, how long I have to travel to get to you, and you're already telling me what I'm supposed to wear at home? No, we got a problem, boo-boo. We got a problem. Who do you think you are? And stop thinking that just because something has that disgusting, vile corporate label next to it means that they are entitled to behave like they own you. That's what they want you to believe. They're bullying you into believing that. You want to be the Oompa Loompa lemming that follows and obeys those orders? Be my guest. You got only something to lose. You got nothing to gain. Nothing. I'm sick and tired of this. Seriously. Anyway. So where was I? Let me take a sip. Fashion Woman says, when you work in fashion, you realize people do unnecessary things like that just to put others down, enforce unnecessary authority, etc. All the time. All the time. I've been through it. And I'm telling you, I've been through it. Every job I ever got, I've been through it. It sickens me to the core. Deeply Erring says, can't believe someone in such a high position would ever single one model out like that. Don't you trust your casting director? Oh. You know how they say how mothers love their sons more than they love their daughters? That there is that kind of, Freud would have a lot to say about competition between women as opposed to women-men. And how, we can't generalize, but books have been written on the subject. Go read them. And there's a lot to be said also about a woman choosing what woman is going to walk her runway. It's Karl's runway, but she chooses. There's a lot of projection. There's a lot of mirroring going on there. Look at Virginie. Now that she's in total control. And look at the models on her runway. See any pattern? Do you see any pattern forming there? Because I do. Louis makes a wonderful point. When did people stop asking questions? When people started, when they stopped asking questions? One, when society in many, I'm not talking about every country because, but I'm particularly in America. When corporations and lobbyists, did everything in their power to make your education impossible to pay for because it's so expensive, to keep you dumb. First step. Because if you don't know what to ask and how to ask, you're not going to ask because you're dumb. 2, when they've brainwashed you that you're going to lose your job if you just so happen to dare to speak your mind or to ask a question. They've indoctrinated you to fear the loss of a job. So you stop questioning anything because if you ask a question, you're considered a complicated employee. They're not going to consider you for that 25-cent raise because you ask questions. So you just stay silent, passive, submissive. The joy of every corporation to have you submit and never ask a question. That's the stay of the world we're in right now. Fun, isn't it? Fun, isn't it? Madame says, see Donatella, see her models body doubles. But Donatella, she's quirky. She's complicated too, don't get me wrong. Indirectly, I've dealt with her as well. She's not the easiest person in the world, but she has a certain sense of humor that Virginie just doesn't have. I'm sorry, but she just doesn't. Like with Donatella, like you can joke with her, you know, she's going to get the joke. Sometimes it'll take her a while, she'll get the joke. Virginie doesn't seem like a person who's going to get a joke. Just doesn't. And so, but then there's sexuality. Donatella was raised by her brother, a gay man who loved life, had the lust for life, and an Italian guy on top of that, from the south of Italy, the most voluptuous part of Italy. And she was raised into that. So Donatella, she knows how to party, honey. Donatella, you know, that nose ain't operated for nothing. You know what I mean? But yeah, but so there's flirtation, quirkiness. Donatella hired Paris Hilton to walk the runway in a pink tutu and tulle dress. Very Y2K. You think Virginie Viard would ever hire Paris Hilton to close a show or to open a show? You see what I mean? Somebody just has a sense of humor, somebody just doesn't. Exactly, and Paris Hilton was walking like a queen on her show. It was amazing. I mean, to see, it gave me so much joy. And just to be very clear, you guys, when Paris Hilton walked the runway at Versace, the collection wasn't, you know, whatever. The collection wasn't good. Who cares? But that doesn't, forget about the clothes. Just remember Paris Hilton walking the runway at Versace and how much joy. And she doesn't know how to walk. She's not a model. And she was like bouncy, but she was so happy to be there. And everybody was happy to see her. And they let her walk in her quirky walk. And it was just so beautiful. It was fun. It was joyous. It was lighthearted. It didn't take itself seriously. It was just such a joy to see. I love that in fashion. I really, really do. Then I watched the Chanel Haute Couture Spring Summer 2023 collection, plywood animals in which models are locked inside of, for some of them were there the entire runway until the end, with a technician in a tiny space in the darkness, locked inside of a plywood animal's butt. And then it opens up and they're like sweaty and then they come out and they walk the runway. And then these animals close again. Don't forget, somebody mentioned in the, underneath my review of that fashion show in the comment section, somebody mentioned, oh my God, Dacob, do you realize that those poor technicians were still inside of those plywood animals after the show? They were still waiting inside of that tiny enclosed space after the fashion show was over, waiting for all the guests to leave, probably, allegedly, and then they were allowed to leave, to exit those plywood animals themselves. So yeah, the models had to wait 10 to 15 minutes, their turn to leave and run and walk the runway. But the technicians that were inside the animals with the models, they were still inside the animals after the show. That's the Chanel fashion show. Like, that's what I take from the dogs on bibs from the models and the technicians stuck inside the animals the entire duration of the show. I ran into Karl years ago in FAO. He approached me because, says Donna Donahue, he approached me because of my unique style. I wasn't wearing Chanel. I believe Karl would not care what the models showed up in. I agree with you. Anyway, I mean, and just to say, I want to say kudos to Chanel Beauty, and I've been supportive of Chanel Beauty for so long, and I think they did a great thing to, to book Teddy for their Chanel Beauty campaign. So, I am a big supporter, not sponsored by the way, could you imagine? But anyway, here we got Chanel Boutique. I just got this. I was at an opening of a Chanel Beauty boutique the other day, and they gave me some little gifts. One of them, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I think it's left over from their holiday season stuff. But here I have LED lights. You know what? Let's celebrate Chanel Beauty for being so cool and hiring Teddy. So I'm gonna light myself up. It's not what you're thinking. I'm not gonna light myself that, but I'm gonna turn these little lamplets on, shall we? I got my little USB connector here, and they should light up. We'll go. Ah! We're lit. Oh my gosh, hold on. Fashion, darling. Oh, Virginie could never. Could you imagine Virginie creating a light up? You remember when Karl was still alive, he did the boy bags with the LED lights. He was trying to experiment with like futuristic things. And then he would do, remember, Karl would do the LED paneled boy bags. They would change colors. He would do Velcro closures for the jackets. Yeah. A light up necklace. There, they did it. Chanel did it, and it's a freebie. Chanel Beauty did it, not fashion, because fashion wouldn't dare go there. Tipa says, maybe we can have a Chanel Beauty emoji like a cosmetic case. Well, we have. We have a Chanel perfume, and we also have Coco. We have those two emojis, T-Pal. Yeah. Yes, Abba, they did. Chanel did a high heel wedge, a light up high heel light bulb wedge in the early 2000s. 300 more subs and we get new stickers, says Kev. No, it doesn't work with subscribers. It works with members, Kev. Like we can get more emojis if we get more members, but with stickers, I don't know how it works with stickers. Or did you mean emojis or did you mean stickers? Rachel says, Jesus, you need to tour comedy clubs or just sit next to me making comments all day. A new emoji in honor of Teddy, says T-Pal. Oh, that's a good one, T-Pal. Remember the meat purse? James asks, no, you mean from the supermarket collection. There was like a fresh produce, like a fresh box and the bag was in that box. Is that what you mean? I remember that one. Yes, Rachel, members get emojis. You get to use special emojis. You get the Coco emoji, the pumpkin emoji, the Twin Peaks Red Room emoji, the crop emoji, the Super D emoji, the Oompa Loompa emoji, the present emoji, the perfume emoji, Chicky and the Hedgehog emojis. But Rachel, you are a patron. You don't have the little logo of a member. So patrons don't get the emojis, the members do. Yes, James, I remember the supermarket collection bag packaged in the fresh box. Yes, of course. How can I forget? Do you remember a couple of seasons before that, the Chinese takeaway bag from the 2010 Paris Shanghai collection? I love that piece. Christopher makes an interesting point here. Christopher says, if Virginie was more successful as a designer, I don't think anyone would care about her rude behavior. You know, this is a very, very interesting point. I still would care a lot. So I don't agree with you when you say anyone, because this one person would care. a lot of people, a lot less people would care. That I agree with you. Like if you would have written, like if Virginie was more successful as a designer, I don't think so many people would care about her rude behavior. Then I would agree with you. I do agree that success comes with opening certain doors and allowing you certain things that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. But I would still not let this pass. No, I still would not let this pass. And I also wanted to make sure to show you the photos of Teddy on the Chanel runway, just because I know there's going to be some smart ass out there. Had I not shown you the pictures of Teddy on the runway, you would have commented, she can say whatever she wants. Oh, she was on the runway. Where is it? Where are the receipts? Well, there you go. You saw the receipts at the beginning of the video. You saw her on the runway twice. You saw her in the beauty ad campaign. So, you know what I mean? I just had to build it all up to give Teddy also the credibility that she deserves. She is a credible source. She is a credible source. In my book, she is. In my book, she is. Let's go shopping to the trashery. I meant Chanel, says Louis. Member for 26 months, tier 1. Thank you so much. Now, so, okay. So I'm going to have to take the necklace off because the necklace, we'll go. Because I want to now tell you it's not all terrible and loss. We're raising awareness about things, and this is good, but we're also, we know that alone on ourselves, on our own, we can't just, there you go, Louis, member for 26 months. Thank you so much. We can't on our own just save the world. We got to unite. We got to start a conversation. We got to have a conversation going, because if we have a conversation going, we can actually make a change. And this is the conversation we're having here. We're trying to discuss this. Now, as you know, Vivienne Westwood passed away on the 29th of December of 2022, and I am heartbroken still. I filmed with Vivienne Westwood my movie Art Lovers Unite together with Patrick J. Thomas, and we are premiering it in Germany this coming, February 16th, 2023. Get your tickets now. I will be there for the Q&A. Get your tickets now at www.artloversunite.com. Click under screenings. There's only a few tickets left. Other fellow member YouTubers are going to come to the premiere. It's going to be amazing. So Vivienne is gone, and I'm not so sure how well the people that are left in that brand are going to carry on her heritage. I'm very hesitant to believe it's going to be something I'm going to wholeheartedly embrace, like I have wholeheartedly embraced whatever Vivienne did. And it's really sad. Chanel, the brand, is what it is. I'm still going to keep buying their perfumes and some accessories, and creams, but yeah, maybe better times will come. I love Yoji, but Yoji, it's this classic, you want a black silhouette, Asian poetry in the movement of his garments, you go for Yoji. And I have a lot of Yoji pieces, so I still wear Yoji. But who's alive still today? Who's, one of the living designer. I know Yoji is still alive, but as I said, Yoji is not for every day, for me at least. I don't know. So I'm now more and more, and I've started this already years ago, at least when it comes to sneakers. But now when it comes also to clothing, I am more and more looking into another one of the living legends. And as long as they're alive, I'm really happy that they are and that they are working. And also, this is one of the designers, and I'm talking about Rick Owens. Rick Owens is one of the few designers that did not sell out. You see, he still owns his brand. It's privately owned, I think, for the most part. But even more importantly, he owns his own production facility. It's called Concordia something in Italy. What does this mean? For his most important leather pieces and garments, he doesn't source them out. He produces them internally. Rick Owens designs his clothes, but he also manufactures them, which is amazing. He's doing really well. I mean, he's a very wealthy man. I mean, you should see his apartments and houses. I mean, there's money there. So it's not, it's a brand that makes money, but they manufacture their own things. And some of these beautiful objects and strange objects, very futuristic objects, a dystopian future in many cases, but still, it's kind of a vision of a future where you feel that the designer is still working on innovation. It's a very typical style. I mean, Rick Owens is very Rick Owens. You can't not see from a mile away that a person is wearing Rick Owens when they are wearing Rick Owens. But the fact that he manufactures his own stuff, that he sources his own leathers, his own leather hides, that there's a lot of work involved in that. And the fact that he has other sub-brands like Rick Owens, which is his brand and label for fur and leather. I know a lot of you are against fur, but he has that extra level of all sorts of manufacturing and working with leather and fur, or just leather without fur. He also started an eco-friendly range that is more focused on developing more and more and more eco-friendly fabrics and clothes. And the balance is very interesting between how he doesn't force you into always buying something new, because once you have a piece of his, it's beautiful for decades, because he maintains, very similar to what Vivienne used to do. Vivienne, until her dying day, kept producing the same clothes that she did in the 80s. Certain ranges from her fashion line were exactly the same, because she said, I love them. They work. Why change them? And why make people have the FOMO? They know they can always get them when they come to buy them from me. They can always get these pieces. It's not about fashion. It's about style. So I've been looking more and more into Rick. And remember that a couple of months ago, I made a video. It was a tag video about which bags I see myself in the future with in the next 10 years. Well, I guess those 10 years came sooner than later, because, so as I'm traveling, I come across this fabulous place. It's like a shopping center of sorts, and they have a Rick Owens section, and they have a shoe department that sells Rick shoes and also bags. I don't know why the bags are in the shoe section. I guess because they're leather. And then they have a clothes section with the clothes, Rick Owens clothes, and other accessories like undergarments. And so, it's the sale season, and it's up to 60% off the winter collection, and I'm used to Chanel prices, to Louis Vuitton prices. I'm used to the prices, $5,000 for a bag, $10,000 for a bag, right? But I've been looking into Rick Owens leather and Rick Owens bags for a while, and I've been contemplating. And there was this one style of bag in particular that I kind of became obsessed with. And, this particular store had that bag. But you see, that bag never goes on sale. In fact, if you check the Rick Owens website, that version of that bag in that color, the black colorway, the carryover, never goes on sale. And in fact, the bags were in the shoe department, but apparently they've been moved to the clothing department because there was not enough clothes in the clothing department. So they wanted to make it look like a showroom, a little bit nicer and neater. So they moved the bags into the clothing department. That's when the sale hit. So the clothing department reduced everything 50% off, and they also reduced the bags 50% off. Now, mind you, those bags were already like 70% off if you compare them to the prices of Hermès or Chanel. The quality is much better though than Chanel. Not than Hermès, because Hermès leather is Hermès leather, but much better than Chanel quality. But then the price is like just like a sixth of the price of Chanel, and then 50% off. So I was shocked. I was shocked. I realized that, well, maybe this is a mistake, because I mean, but then again, hey, I asked the sales associate, you know, I'm like, hey, is this bag reduced? She's like, well, yeah, says it's reduced. I'm like, can you scan it to check? Scanned, beep, comes up as 50% off. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I always have to put some hope, even on a strong, heavy topic like we had today. We got to have a little bit of sunshine at the end. So I am very, very proud to share with you hold on. Okay. I've already wrapped them. They're protected. I'm very happy to share with you a little something that I got at Rick Owens. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, you guys. Are you ready for this? Okay. I told them to put them in the plastic bags because I'm scared if, you know, I don't want it to get wet while I'm traveling. So they come in these gorgeous, gorgeous, thick dust bags. Rick Owens, you have the logo there. Where is it? Really tiny. Oh my God, it's so tiny, but you can see it. It's right there. The little stitched Rick Owens logo, right? I am the proud owner of a Griffin bag, the large Griffin bag in the most soft lambskin ever. It's lambskin inside and out. Has this huge chunky, I still have the sticker on it. I have to peel the sticker off. Has this chunky, like aluminum metal compartment, a little ponticello. They call this the ponticello D-ring because in Italian, ponticello means bridge. Little tiny bridge D-ring. You can hang charms off of this. There's a magnet clasp. It is completely lined in lambskin leather, inside and out. Insane quality. And it's very, very lightly treated leather, so it doesn't smell too intense, which is a good sign. You can wear it as a clutch or as a crossbody bag or as a shoulder bag because the strap is adjustable. Actually, the strap is detachable. So I've set it to this length, but you can make it even shorter up to here, or you can take it completely off if you want to. Completely detachable strap. And there's it's made in Italy in a Rick Owens factory. And it does have a ton of inner slots for credit cards. And there's a big pocket here. Then there's another pocket there. And then there's this main compartment completely lined in leather. The softest lambskin, like it's soft like a glove. And then the zip pocket here is also lined in lambskin leather. And look at this, you can pull it out because that's how I test the quality. I go into these like crevices that you might think they might hide the quality. So I pull out the inner lining. This lambskin leather is insane. This is the quality you would put on a glove. This is not the quality you would put inside a hiding pocket. It's amazing, amazing. Jason says, I'm going to check the bags out now. Never seen a Rick Owens bag unboxed before. I'm telling ya. Then I went on YouTube and I'm like, did anybody review the Griffin bag? Nobody. So I'm going to be the first one, I guess. I don't know if anybody's going to want to look. Kev, it's not only well made, it's incredible. And then it has the magnet closure. It's light, a little bit heavy. It has this futuristic geo stitching. It's such a futuristic bag or clutch. Look how soft it is. And then it's quilted, it's puffy, it's so squishy and soft. So I was, by the way, this lambskin, completely lambskin leather, inside and out. So much craftsmanship. Under $800 after sale. Rick Owens, baby. I'm yours. Oh, and if that weren't enough, I got more. Because the big bag is gorgeous, but I have an event coming up and, well, I think, what do you guys think? I took the baby one with me as well for the premiere. Oh, okay. So I got the baby. It's the small version. Also with a detachable strap. Here I took the strap off. It's inside of the tissue paper. So you can just kind of flip these little guys in here. And when you close it, it's like a little tiny clutch to take to the premiere of the movie. So you have first part of my premiere outfit. Now you know. A first reveal of my outfit for the premiere is going to be this bag. Isn't it adorable? So this is how they look side by side, you guys. Size comparison. Obsessed. Obsessed. These two bags together cost less than one necklace at Chanel. Apocalyptic chic. Yes, Kev. Watch it says, oh, the baby one is cool. It's adorbs. Really, really adorbs. The big one is adorbs too. They're just very different purposes. You know, the little one, I'm going to wear more for different type of occasions. This is more a day-to-day bag. And in fact, I might shorten the strap and wear it literally just on my shoulder like this. You know? It looks supple on camera, so you know it's butter in real life. Oh, Christopher, well, here, without the, so if you can just, you see, you can pull it, it's amazing. And it has this very futuristic type of padding inside. It's not foam, it's more compact, but these are like kind of patches internally that have this length. This is kind of like, it's a very futuristic, very dystopian, but futuristic vision of luxury leather and luxury bags. Just beautiful. Oh, patina color, baby, absolutely love these. Thank you. I had a sneaky suspicion you might appreciate, but they just work. They just really, really work. And like I said, Ricky does his own shit in his own factories, which is very commendable. And he doesn't play those games like these other luxury houses do, charging you $10,000 for this bag. He doesn't. Now, anybody can get canceled at any moment, at any given time. So I don't know, you know, if he's completely clean morally. I don't know. But he seems to be okay for now. We'll see, you know, what the future brings. But for now, I'm going to enjoy these bags like there's no tomorrow. And truth be told, lately I've been having really issues just going out and about with my Chanel bags. That double C logo, I can't stand behind it anymore, like on bags. Not at the moment. I just feel like, yeah, I lost respect of it. You know what I mean? Chanel needs to really step it up. So bags like these I think are the future. These are brands that people don't really talk about, at least in the luxury community, and maybe some people won't even consider these bags. I mean, I've been talking to my friends, my luxury YouTuber friends online, and I've already told them about these bags, and they were kind of shocked. They're like, oh, Rick Owens, oh, we don't really know his bags at all. You know, they're a little bit too edgy or whatever. And I was like, well, try them out. Try them out. They're amazing. I mean, the fact, and also, oh my God, they're so shiny and soft and squishy, and the leather is just insane. And then you have this kind of duality between, you can also put, you know, you like pull it up like that. And the duality of like kind of the heavy heart, it's not heavy, but it looks chunky. It's a chunky piece of metal combined with the very, very soft and delicate leather. Such a beautiful architectural design, beautifully sewn together. I mean, we're talking everything aligns so beautifully. No words really. And then when I saw that they were 50% off, I was like, okay, you know what? Wrap both of them up. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. This has been our live stream. Chanel, I wish you the best. I wish you prosperity, success, and fame. I wish everybody prosperity, success, and fame. There's enough space for everyone. There's enough money for everyone. There's enough food for everyone. We just have to learn to distribute it amongst each other properly so that nobody is left out on the street. Oh, Alex.
Alex Schnefsky donated $10.
Thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you for your reporting, Dacob.
Thank you so much, Vala. Thank you. Let me pop your cherry virtually. And I want to say thank you to the mods for keeping us safe and clearing the chat from people who don't understand and trolling and trolling and trolling. So let's sing to the mods. Bubbles, hit it. Thank you, mods.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. Thanks to Debbie.
Ah, Barbara, thank you so much.
Barbara Shioka donated $20. Your live show is amazing. I love your honesty. And that you follow your mind.
Oh, thank you so much, my love. Barbara is always so, so kind. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Let me pop your cherry right now. Yes, Barbara. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. Let me thank the mods again. Bubbles, hit it from the start.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. Thanks to Debbie, Jesus, Audrey, Aisha, Nicole, and Kat. Bubbles loves you.
So that was a special thank you to the mods from Bubbles the Bot and myself. Christopher Brunson, thank you so much for the super chat. It's going to pop up here any second. Dacob, would you wear and try to pull off the Kiss boots? Kiss boots. Wait, are we talking about Ricky? On. Really bad with these names, y'all. Kiss boots. Is that Ricky or somebody else? Oh, of course I know them. I know the Kiss boots. Okay, so with the plexi heel, I could wear them. I've really worn high heels. Those are not high heels. There you go. Thank you so much, Christopher. Let me pop your cherry.
$9.99 super chat from Christopher Brunson. Dacob, would you wear and try to pull off the Kiss boots?
Thank you. So it's not a really high heel because the plateau is big as well. So kind of, you don't have, you're not really walking on a high heel. It's a tiny elevation for the foot. So truth be told, yeah, I've worn hooker heels in my life, honey. I've been there, done that. Okay. She's been around the block a couple of times. These are fascinating, but they're just not me. But I love his futuristic cowboy boots. And in fact, I bought a pair just right after Christmas or for Christmas, actually. I bought, what are they called? I forgot their name. They have a squared off heel, totally cut inwards. Oh my gosh, it's like the future of Star Wars and cowboy boots. Does anybody remember what I said they were called? I unboxed them in another video. Hold on, Rick Owens, let me check. Rick Owens. But yeah, so anyway, the Kiss boots, they're not so much me, but I could wear them. But I wouldn't want to own a pair. He has really interesting names for his shoes. There they are. the Sliver boot. That's the boot I bought, and I really love them. This is kind of more me right now. Let me show you. Let me show you. We'll go. This one here. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's a little bit transparent. Sorry, because it reflects blue light. It's a blue screen, you guys. Wait, maybe if I make it lighter. No. Okay, maybe if I make it darker. No, it's but you see what I mean. That's more me. This is more me. This is like kind of this weird, and the heel is like very square when you look at it from the bottom up. Oh, thank you, Jason. Gorgeous boots, Dacob. Thank you. Yeah. So also, joining me for the premiere is going to be my dear friend, Madame Ross. And Madame Ross was also gracious enough to sing a special ferret song for the Fashion Bunker. So usually kind of it's become a little bit of a theme. We end our live streams with Madame Ross singing. So I just want to grace you with her talents. She is an opera singer after all. Go check out Madame Ross, RHOS. On Instagram. Follow her on Instagram. She is incredible. She has over 100,000 followers on Instagram. She has perfected the vintage style and the 20s, 30s, 40s style of dressing, but she's also an opera singer. Madame Ross, let me hear your ferret.
Dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret. Or something like that. Please let me sing it in for you.
Yes, baby. Thank you so much. Oh, Madame Ross, so amazing. T-Pal says, thank you, Dacob, for sharing Teddy's truth. Oh, yeah, T-Pal, thank you so much for saying that. And I do hope that Teddy is not offended by anything I said. I hope that Teddy is not offended by me sharing her content. I think Teddy's amazing. And I would love to have Teddy on the show. Teddy, if you would like, this is an open invitation for you anytime, girl. Just, let me know. And there's a lot we can talk about. Oh my God, there's like so much we can talk about. So Teddy, I would love to talk to you. Unhinged, darling, whatever you want to say. And well, that was our live stream this week. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget, you can become a tier 2 member or patron and join every weekend before the main show, the pre-show, which is also a live stream, where we get to talk even more openly and more in depth about all of these topics because we don't have YouTube kind of censoring us. So if you would like to have even more Fashion Bunker fun, consider joining, becoming a member or a patron today. And until next time, I want to say cha. Hit it, cha, 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 with an AI jizzes.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao.
I love you loads. Thank you so, so much. You are my people, because whoever sticks with me for all of these hours through the chats, talk, that means you are on my wavelength, and you have no clue how much you make my life happier and brighter and shinier, because I finally, when I am with my community here in the Fashion Bunker, I have the feeling, okay, finally, I've come to a place where people understand me. Because, in the real life, family, friend, members, whatever, it's like, I don't know. People are not really interested that much. It took me years to build up a community where the right people found each other, where like-minded people found each other and have an opportunity and a platform to share all our thoughts together. So you have really no clue how much it means to me, and I do not take it for granted. Every single day, I'm grateful for this community. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Never give up on love. And I'm all going to see y'all very, very soon on my journeys and travels and trips. Until then, subscribe and stay safe and healthy. Bye.